Hello, I'm Rob, and coming up on R&B Reviews, Mila Kunis goes to a world she has never gone before in Jupiter Ascending. Thank you very much for checking out R&B Reviews. Jupiter Ascending is a science fiction film to come from the Wachowskis siblings, the filmmakers behind the Matrix movies and the polarizing adaptation of Cloud Atlas. Mila Kunis plays Jupiter, a caretaker living in Chicago with her Russian immigrant family. On another planet, the son of a powerful family is looking for Jupiter, and help for her arrives in the form of Cain, a genetically engineered hunter played by Channing Tatum. Now, apparently, Jupiter's genetics make her the next in line for an extraordinary inheritance that could change the universe. I know, it's a lot to take in here. Jupiter Ascending, I admit, the movie it kept my attention the whole time, but I could not tell if the Wachowskis were trying to make a serious science fiction movie or a campy cult fantasy film like the 1980s Flash Gordon. I found that a lot of the scenes set on Earth were a little bit more straightforward and a little more relatable than some of the scenes that were set in space. And at the beginning of the movie, it was really hard for me to follow and I kept wondering who was who and what was going on, and on top of that, a lot of the alien costumes and some of the makeup, for me, felt campy and over the top just for the sake of being it. For example, there is an alien with large ears, and there's one that looks like an elephant. Why? I don't know. None of that really felt like it served a purpose in this movie. The special effects for the most part were decent, and the movie has chase sequences that, while they didn't really have me on the edge of my seat, I found for the most part enjoyable to watch. Even though there's one chase sequence that is taking place in Chicago that I felt like I was watching the Man of Steel all over again, as buildings and explosions felt like they were being done just to show off, and practically almost it felt like all the city was being destroyed. But the photography of the movie I thought was pretty amusing. Now, the acting for the most part I found to be a little bit of a mixed bag. Kunis, I thought, did a good job, and I liked how she reacted to all these, space objects and creatures that she had not seen before. And Tatum, I thought, was very good as Cain, but I felt the love story between the two of them just didn't seem as developed as it could have been. As a matter of fact, I could say that about a lot of different plot points in this movie. Sean Bean is in this movie as I guess a former hunter that worked with Cain on a lot of missions, and I felt like that was also, they mentioned a few things about the relationships, but then it just doesn't go any further than that. Getting back to the acting, the villain's acting I found to be a little bit amateurish, especially Eddie Redmayne, who sounds like he's doing an impression of Ralph Fiennes as Lord Voldemort from the Harry Potter films. Also, when he yells, my gosh, it is grating. I mean, it's really hard to believe this is the same actor from the recent Les Miserables movie from a couple of years ago and the movie Theory of Everything that came out recently. I mean, I know he's better than this. Jupiter Ascending, I thought, was amusing, but it's a very flawed film. There are things to admire with the movie. I like that the film featured some metaphors on the bureaucracy maze, capitalism, people's obsession with looking young, but the movie was just sometimes really hard to follow. Some of the characters were just not developed. The acting was all over the place, and I really would have liked it if the Wachowskis had made this movie just a serious science fiction film without all this over-the-top campy elements in there. I think Jupiter Ascending will go on to be a cult classic for a devoted fan base. For me, the movie, I didn't think it was bad, but it just wasn't really good either, so I'm kind of in the middle with this one. So for my rating, I'm going to give it a mild rented on DVD rating. Alright, that's my review of Jupiter Ascending, and go ahead and post your comments about the movie. What was it that you didn't like? What was it that you liked? Go ahead and post your comments, and if you're interested, come visit the main page and look at some other videos of movies that are in theaters, on DVD, streaming, all of that. And if you're interested, consider being a subscriber. Thank you very much for watching.